How come Robbie's running and you're not running?
Just like...
Do you want to race, or is it like...
Yeah, I want to race like more than ever. I think the deal probably come about, he really wanted to do Eastern Creek stuff, and Dad's always had a lot of time for Robbie and whatnot. And then that came about last year when Aaron couldn't come out. So we still have a pretty close relationship with Right in America. So when that sort of fell through, we thought we could do some Eastern Creek stuff, or what was going to be the Sydney Speed Week last year.
Yeah.
Robbie was going to run another car. Yeah. And then when we got to sort of the Classic now, it's hard. Like I've done 4 races in 2 years, going up against people like J-Mac and Carson and that have done 100 races in 1 year. You're sort of behind the 8 ball. So, and I love like crewing as well in that sense. Like I love racing 10 times more, but you know, when you can, the Classic's one of those events that it's so mentally draining. You have to be so well prepared, and I feel like when you're not at the pointy end, you sort of lose the fun of the weekend because you sort of get down on it and whatnot.
Whose
so
like idea is it? Oh, we should get someone else to drive the car. Are you asking to do that? Are you too busy? Is your dad wanting?
Yeah, it would be like busy a little bit. Probably like a combined decision, I suppose. I think how much fun we had when we brought Aaron out and we just liked it. It was just different. Yeah. And then it's always when you take that first step, I think you always underestimate what it's like for a 2-car team. This is our previous kit car. So this car was in the truck at the top when I raced the Queensland State Series. Mm-hmm. So we've put the car that he raced last weekend, that's up the top of the truck with the engine pretty much exactly how he ran at Archerfield. Mm-hmm. You're straight at the top, and we've just finished building a new car here, which is just getting stickered. I think we usually like starting with like newer stuff. My car was old, so that was my car that Robbie raced.
Alright, so we are in Sydney. They were working late last night, but it is pissing down rain here in Sydney, so yeah, I'm glad we're not racing tonight here in Sydney. Well, not the smoothest flight, but we are in Melbourne and it's sunny. There is not a cloud around. Check this out. No clouds, so we're going racing tonight at Avalon.
Obviously, when everything I guess early days in the pandemic, there was planned to do some stuff with Private Motorsports in Perth, and when that border started to shut, that Mark rang me and said that, you know, not sure what we can do for you, but we want to do something with you. And obviously with Mick Racing and being a family-based team, it was always going to be hard to go to a two-car situation permanently or anything like that. So yeah, it's just the way it's turned out. We sort of always planned to do something, and just as it, you know, couldn't get over to Perth there at Christmas to race for JPM, and they couldn't get over here to race for the Classic weekend and stuff, and then we just kept talking, and you know, as I said, we always planned to do something, and now we've never had the opportunity to do it. So looking forward to, had a skid last weekend in Brisbane, and looking forward to, you know, trying to put 4 nights in 5 days together, and hopefully we'll get our program together pretty quick. And you know, it's a big weekend for Australian Speedway. The last 3 shows have been in 3 different cars with 3 different crew chiefs with 3 different shock packages, so it's been interesting and challenging at the same time. Obviously, it's not ideal to be doing that. In this day and age, everyone's programs are pretty tight, and they've done a lot of racing to date to get to this weekend. So we would have liked to have done a little bit more in the one car. Actually ran mixed car last week. This is a different car this week. So yeah, it's not an ideal lead up, but we've all sort of, you know, we've got Finchy here for the weekend, and Mick and Mark, they've all done enough race, and we just got to patch it together real quick. All the equipment's there, and you know, I think I can do the job in the right circumstance. Yeah, I think we've won this race 5 times. Avalon's been really good to me over the years, but we've always, you know, been with the one team, and you've got 15-20 shows leading up to it, and we only hit Avalon once a year the last 4 or 5 years. So it's not a track we race a lot at, but our program's always transitioned here pretty good. So yeah, a bit unknown. I don't know, mate. I think all the equipment's there, all the ingredients are there. We just got to mix it right, and you know, I think this is a very sharp, short run show because everyone needs to get to Mount Gambier tomorrow night. So qualifying is crucial. You get those 2 laps right, you set your night up. If you don't, you're in trouble. We just got to get it together real quick and knock a bit of rust off me. I think we've done 3 or 4 shows in 6 months, so we need to get rolling here pretty quick.
Mark's in the background, but is there any expectations set for you guys for this weekend?
I've got no idea, mate. I have to ask you, but yeah, I'm sure.
Just have some fun.
Yeah,
have some fun and learn and grow. That's all we want to do.
Yeah, we want to present good. We want to put our best foot forward, and there's no reason why we can't do that. It's just you got a lot of teams trying to do the same thing, so we need to hit it early and hit it hard and see where the weekend takes us.
Your Monties, your Crickies and all that, so that's what I'm aspiring to be, and having the likes of someone like Robbie drive for us, Reitzel is driving for us too when he can get over here. I just want to bring our team to that level with those big names, and also doing it to benefit my son Michael, because I think he's going to learn so much from people like Robbie, the years of experience, the way they go about their racing and stuff like that. I think he can learn so much from. I mean, look, at the end of the day, most people can still race and steer a car around, but I just look at the way, say, Robbie approaches things, and whether he has a good night or a bad night, and they're the things that I want Michael to learn from, because it's something that you don't learn overnight. You have different crew chiefs, and everyone sets up cars differently, and everyone drives differently, but I think you need to have that mental attitude towards everything, and I think, I only talk about Mick, but I think the young probably lack a bit of that today, and Robbie being old school, I think he can learn a lot from that. So we got Finchy that helps us, but predominantly, Mick and I are just 100% hand on. I just feel it's like anything. If you want to run a successful business, you need to have your hands on, and I treat this now, Saller Motorsport, as a business. So I think I need to have my hands on deck all the time. So.
I don't think I've been to Avalon for probably 11 years or something. I never got to race here, but tonight we're gonna be working with Robbie Farr, so it should be pretty fun. I'm just excited to see a racetrack I haven't seen in a long time, and I think this track gets a little bit of a bad name, to be honest, but there's always seems to be really good racing here, so I'm just excited to watch and work with Robbie Farr and the Saller team. Mick and Mark have been really helpful with letting me film some stuff, so good night to kick our week off.
I told Finch to cut it off, and then Robbie hops in and goes, nah, fuck you, that's you.
You're going to make me stuff up, Toby.
Did you get much sleep?
2 hours. Oh, that's all right. I feel alive.
You obviously took over some of the driving too, though.
I was meant to get my truck license 4 years ago.
Dad's happy to drive all night and work all day, though.
He loves it. He wouldn't do it any other way. True. Convinced Dad to buy you like a new right rear for a night in my first season, and I was trying to like groove the side, and I just went and it's gone. Psh.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and I remember he lost his shit. I got a second chance, right? Because I'm here being a tyre guy again.
Yeah.
fastest?
Eagle with a 13.0. But then the next fastest of his was 5. So that was the one after yours. McFadden's out now.
Watch his line.
James did the same. Like, so James went quicker. The only real difference, they ran the same line like the top, but James kept the wheels under him a tiny bit more than what Lockie did. James kept the wheels under him a tiny bit more. Like Lockie just did not lift the whole time. James was a tiny bit, but still had the revs up heaps. On the first lap, so that was 2/10 faster than anyone in the group, so like a real good time. He just floated it. So McFadden's done a 12.7, he was the whole group before, so equivalent, so what's that, 10 cars before did a 12.7 and Robbie did 12.8, so yeah, next fastest in our group was a 13.0, so yeah, take that. But I think this motor will did it feel like that's your first indication of trying to catch him a little bit? It felt like that first lap you were keeping the wheels pretty under you, only really in the main straight you were letting it eat entering.
That's in the second lap I tried to send it, take it the next step, and that's when I got over the mark.
I don't know what they usually do here. Would they rip this before heats now?
Only once a year.
If you were rolling out in a heat at the end of this qualifying, would you want that detune done from 6? Straight up now.
No matter what.
Yeah, okay. As soon as we get back.
And yeah, we just might need to. No, it's fine. Wait, it should be heat 3.
Heat 3, you've got time.
Don't need to show it.
No. Are you happy to run American Racing for heat?
They could.
Yeah.
Honestly, it slowed up that much, and with the wind, I had to backpedal, and the guys I watched earlier qualify, they weren't backpedaling that much, and I feel like I had to slow it up a bit, so I didn't think it was going to be there on the clock. So the second lap I pushed harder, and I didn't stick it. I actually got in that stuff out of 2 and killed that lap. Yeah. So I was surprised. Yeah, sometimes you feel like you've done an awesome lap and it's nowhere. Sometimes you feel like you've done an average one and it's somewhere.
That week was only from that little bit very loose.
Yeah, it's perfect.
was low, except Marcus just ripped from fourth and it was about to get to the lead then. On the top. In 3 and 4. So Reed was winning, sort of just floating through the middle and whatnot, and as Marcus just kept really just running real straight, pretty much what you did in qualifying, in 3 and 4, but they're all to the bottom in 1 and 2. Marcus 2 laps to James was about to get past Marcus on the bottom, and then Marcus, as soon as he went to the top, he got past him to second, and then
just a bit of tape, mate, if you can.
yeah. I've only got masking, but if I wrap it around itself, it'll be fine.
Quite a bit of front down the back straight.
Yeah.
Come on, folks, you don't think it means something? How cool is that story for a rookie in sprint cars to pick up the fifth?
Quick, he ran forward, we ran forward, we'd be ahead of him. Whoever could time the best. But I thought we were ahead of him at times, so I was thinking that's front row depending on the seat.
He did a 7.
Hey?
He did a 7.
So he'd be ahead of us.
Yeah, and Eagle did an 8.0, so if Eagle finishes 4th, he'll be 3rd, we'll be 4th. 4th worst case scenario, which is still alright, it's still good. First rip out, you beat.
Yeah.
If you look at most of these rings, that's not going to make things up.
DC thing, so
I don't think you like run and drive. You run my left backwards when it's like this when I don't have a D. Yeah? Okay. And RD20. So they're pretty much just set aside for the...
nothing harder than
And no one knows it's not anywhere.
I knew we had an American Racer on him. Got a couple at the start, and I wasn't going to burn the tyre off it, trying to do it. But we're probably a little bit propped up, and we had soft rubber on. So I wasn't going to pass cars, but if we smoked the tyre off, we were going to lose spots and change the whole night. Just a bit of common sense, I think.
What's the plan for the feature, like as far as setup?
Don't know, because we've got a DC and a B, so we're not going to know what we're dealing with. So we've got that. We'll make our mind up by the B. But what are you racing on that, or are you racing on something different? I don't know. Too early to tell.
Carl, engine heater.
What the fuck? Are you going to stay out there?
You have to.
Oh,
Speedway for the King's Challenge. And then on to the Classic. Friday, Saturday and Sunday night. And it's time to saddle up Geelong, because here we go.
I was just like idling because I'm like, if I miss it, you're fucked. Thanks, man. Like, if you miss it, you're fucking screwed.
Yeah, I got lead on that restart, and that was never going to happen later in the race. So
Did you get him on the top?
Yeah, on the restart.
I dabbled up there, and I'm like,
Well, Eagle tried to go around the top, and he lost a bunch of spots
that's
because
what
of it.
I thought I reckon I could see enough just to work.
Get enter, but if you did get enter.
Always good to see you, Robbie.
Good luck on exit.
And then he lost the spot. And I was just hoping that you were just like, no, just take second, because it was sort of second or fourth, really.
Me and James were just on the same, he was saving, I could tell he was saving his time too. And it was just like waiting for traffic, and he probably, like, yeah, traffic, was that anything was going to change it?
I think it was at a 2.
Good job, guys, man. Yeah. She's a hard one too. Hard to
We're just rolling around here, we're rolling around saving tyres, I think. There's no top fuel action.
You worked all night, just fuck it done.
Yeah, mate, I'm right. Only one car better not. 747 at worst. Actually, look, anytime you trade this comedy issues, it's just good time.
Oh.
I'm happy to go to fourth to second on that. Yeah, it wasn't a lot of racetrack there, and even to get past Jack there on the outside and the restart was touch and go. Yeah, I just saving tyre. I just tried to save tyre, and hopefully we got the deep lap traffic, thick traffic towards the end and have a little bit of tyre left. But as it played out, we didn't really. I think we lapped one car at the end there. So James, I never had to put James. I was trying to save tyre, that if I had to put James under pressure, I could make him use his tyre up more. And save mine until I needed it, but as it turned out, I think we're both saving tyres and didn't. You were never going to go around anyone the way the track ended up there at the end, so you really were probably relying on a mistake. I think the night probably come back to, we had a first and a fourth, and the other three front row, Jack Lee had a first and fourth, Eagle had a first and fourth, I had a first and fourth, James had a first and a third. That one spot in the heat, track position for the A. as the track narrowed up, was in the right place, right time, done a good job and made no mistakes. So yeah, it's a tough time of year. You've got to put yourself in a position, and we did that. You know, and the past 2 cars on that racetrack, I was happy to get to second. And as I said, there was probably nothing was ever going to happen with James unless James don't make big mistakes in rubber, and I would have needed a decent one. So, mate, super happy for the guys. You know, I think they loaded up at 2 o'clock this morning and drove down here, and brand new car. They haven't done much racing, they haven't really worked together, so yeah, we've got to be happy with that and take some confidence into tomorrow night.
Yeah, it was real cool, like considering we were still getting the car ticket at 1:30 in the morning, and then the boys just drove straight through the night, so we left at 3, and you come here and you're just hoping, best case scenario, nothing falls off the car and you end up on the podium, you're pretty happy. So yeah. And I think just this week's like it's a big momentum week, right? So if we think, you know, we're only going to get better, it's pretty much first night with the 4 of us working together, so it's best possible start.
Over the moon. I'm just replying to my missus and said to her that sleepless night was definitely worth it. So yeah, cheers to the first one.
What's the plans for tonight?
We'll clean her up now and we'll drive over to Mount Gambier and sleep there, and we'll wake up in the morning, give her a service, and see how we go tomorrow night.
Alright, that is our first night done at Avalon. Robbie, you're in second, not bad. I may or may not have forgotten to turn on the GoPro on the car. But still a good night. I still think we got some pretty good footage, and I think people enjoy it. I love how much effort the Sellers put in, and where they ended up is pretty cool. Like, I went over to their place only, what was it, 8 o'clock last night in Sydney, and they've driven just about 1,000 Ks or so to come down to Avalon. I don't think Mark, the team owner, Mick Saller's dad, I don't think he even slept at all. So he drove the truck down from, like, I think they left around 3 a.m. or something. And when I was there at 8 o'clock, only a few hours earlier, they were not anywhere near being done. They were still being stickered up. So I think it was pretty cool to watch. And I think it was a good night of racing. It was a shame the track wasn't the greatest, but still cool to go back to Avalon. And James McFadden won, and which I guess you kind of expect him to run really well. And I think first night out for Robbie to run second was a good way to start off the week. So it'll be interesting to see how they finish off the week.